Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. My name is Leon Jones. This evening's topic: unrealistic demands. When a person who has nothing is seeking a person who has everything. Unrealistic demands. When a person has nothing, but they're seeking someone who has everything. Now, I want you to pay attention to this title, because this is happening. And when you hear this as a man or a woman, you want to think about not dealing with an individual like this. Why? Because whether you are seeking a friendship or relationship, this person does not have anything to offer you. Now, make no mistake, I'm doing this video from an objective point of view. That's why when I say this person, it could be a male or female, and the type of relationships that I am discussing in this video can be relationships or friendships. But one thing that is common to this individual person that I am talking about is that this person is asking for the world, but can't even bring themselves the world. Now, I was talking to Sister Felicia, known as the Healing Palace. And she brought up some information that was oh so common. She had told me that she was going out with a guy. Guy was in the military. And he kept on demanding everything of her. She wanted him, well, he wanted her to send her naked pictures, good night and good morning texts, talk to her every day on the telephone. But yet when she required something from him, he got an attitude. Now, I've been through this myself. And when you analyze everything, this person is insecure, very narcissistic, and childish. Individuals like this really don't want a relationship. They want to control the relationship. But how are you going to control something when you don't have anything to bring to the table? This is the same hypocrisy that I've heard from individuals who have children, but they want somebody with no children. It absolutely makes no sense. And I've always said, when you are dating somebody, you date somebody that you are compatible with. Now, of course, somebody with children is not always compatible with somebody else with children. Vice versa, somebody single is not always compatible with somebody who is single. But at the end of the day, you want to date somebody that you have similar traits, because there's going to be less conflict. Number two, there's going to be more understanding. Now, my previous video that I did when it comes to relationships, many of them today are based on convenience. They're not real. When you have individuals who are not giving, but they expect the other person to give, that's not a relationship. You can't have a relationship with one person. This is why I said in my 65 rules of dating. And one of my big rules, when you go out with somebody, you go Dutch. First date. First date is really not a date, it's a meeting. Because you have to ask that person when you go out with your friends, if they're your friends, who pays? So if you all pay separate bills when you're meeting and they're supposed to be your friends, why can't you take that mindset to a meeting with a person, particularly of the opposite sex? Because you're not sexually involved with this person, you just met him. When you go to a board meeting, who pays? Everybody pays their own way. Now, if I invite you, I'll pay. But where I'm going with this video is you have a number of people who have all these unrealistic demands of who they want, but they can't deliver the same demands not only to themselves, but to the other person. That's just like somebody being overweight, seeking someone who's got six-pack abs, or from a man's point of view, you're a 2 and you're seeking a female who's a dime. It makes no sense. And you want to know why relationships don't work? It's because of the narcissism, the selfishness. Narcissism and selfishism, however you want to put it, they're all tied together. Control, immaturity, and here's the kicker. What generally happens is the person who is imperfect, because all of us are imperfect, one form or another, but what I mean imperfect, the person who's the imperfect one, and I'm going to take it like this, or approach it this way. Well, when you are seeking someone who can bring something to the table, but you can't bring anything to the table, that means you're going to be the one to benefit, but they're not going to benefit. And what's going to happen at the end of the day, there's going to be resentment. And this is what you have for a number of relationships. And the person who is imperfect, when you tell them about themselves, about what they're not doing, they get an attitude. Why do they get an attitude? Because you're telling the truth about them. And I want people who are seeking any type of relationship to not only vet the person that you are talking to, but look at their actions. And everything we do in the real world, we utilize evaluations of performance. And you should do that when you're seeking a relationship. See, with a man's case, men look at looks too much. She has a nice body. Men will drop all their standards. And he'll go out with this woman even if she has mental issues. She could have 10 kids. A man is going to go out with her. Why? Because he sees nothing in her but how she looks. Remember something. Looks deteriorate over a period of time. Now, what basically happens with men, because we actually are visual when it comes to women, the reason why we drop all of our standards and we try to prove everything to this woman, and we end up losing out in the long run because she's going to see right through that, it's because in our mind, we have feelings of being with this woman. But at the end of the day, we're only infatuated. And I want everyone to hear me clearly when it comes to relationships. Many of them are based off of infatuation. This is why relationships of today, which are based on convenience, only last a period of 90 days to 180 days. Why? Because you always have individuals out there seeking somebody else to replace you. That's the way it happens. In fact, if you heard my Smash and Dash videos, that's called the bullpen theory. But there are times where you don't need the bullpen theory if you're looking for a serious relationship. But as I stated before, a number of us don't want serious relationships. We want what we can get out of a relationship because it's easy. And it's only easy if the person you're seeking allows it to be easy. Now, I want to caution everybody that what takes place with the narcissism, the shaming tactics, the immaturity is not just for serious relationships. It's also becoming friends with somebody. Now, I know a white lady who became friends with somebody. Well, because she became friends with this person, the person pulled the wool from under her, and guess what happened to her? Well, her neighbors, that the friend that she was being nice to, they only wanted her so they can get something out of her. So what would happen is when she left, neighbors would go into her house and take everything she owns because she had some nice material items. And what they would do with the material items is they would take them to a garage sale and sell them. Meanwhile, she can't understand why this is happening. Well, it happened because you open your heart up to somebody without vetting them. And it does occur. People know if they have a weakling on their hands. And in society, we always take advantage of people who are weak. Why? Because they're more vulnerable. They're gullible. And they're going to listen to anything that sounds good because it makes them feel good. Now, I caution everybody. You got to be careful with who you interact with. And in this day and age, you really have to be careful because you don't know who's spying on you. I mean, you have cell phones that have cameras. You have social media. You even have people who, this person who's trying to friend you, well, they might have some people in the background. This is what I mean having people. If they see that you have something going for yourself, they might send their goons out to try to harm you. You never know. So what I'm putting out there is you have to be smart. But I got off topic a little bit. What I am definitely saying is if you're looking for any type of relationship, make sure any individual that you interact with can bring something to the table. It is not your job to do everything. And if individuals who are at the bottom of the barrel stand up and are telling you that they're seeking somebody who is perfect, and you have more than they do, you do the snagglepuss and exit stage right. Don't even argue with them. You're wasting your time. And I'm going to get on the guys for this, because it seems to me that guys haven't gotten it, particularly black men. And black men, you got to be realistic about your dating. Just because everybody in your mind is curvy, they got a nice butt, they got a nice face, and they look like you, or they look like somebody you want to date, that might not be the person for you to date. Start looking at their mental state, their psychological state. Start looking at what they got. Because the problem I have with a lot of brothers out here is that you're meeting women just like people I am discussing. They'll come with a sack of kids, no money, no job, but they're demanding everything out of you. But when you ask them for something, they make excuses. That's unsatisfactory. But brothers, this is why you turn into simps. And this is also why you drop all of your beliefs. Because you're looking at, again, how she looks. Looks don't matter if that person, you find out based on her actions, is not what you are really seeking. This is why you have to have your mind open. It's too many brothers out there, and of course there's some Caucasian brothers out there as well, who basically are dating women who are at the bottom, but these women are looking at you. And guess what they're going to tell you too, brothers? Some of these women I'm talking about. And even individuals who are trying to be your friend. They're going to tell you, you have nothing. Well, how can somebody who has nothing tell you, you have nothing? Beware, that's called a shaming tactic. Because if they had something, they'd have a lot more suitors. You see, individuals who may look good, they can fool you for a certain amount of time. But eventually, they become found out. That's right. They get caught in their own lies. You see, I hear everybody talking about the game out here. The game hasn't changed. The players change. Doesn't matter what kind of strategy you have. What matters is it's you as a person and where you're at. And one rule I always tell individuals, don't ask for more than you can give. In fact, when it comes to standards, before you make a demand or have a standard, make sure you can meet it. And this is what's wrong with a number of women out here. We live in an age where you got alpha and beta males battling for women, and they're both simping. And I know why they're doing it. They're doing it because, from a pejorative here, because I don't know all women. There are a number of women. So there's a perception out here that there aren't a lot of good women out here. So what is happening, alpha and beta males, and I don't like to use the term alpha and beta males, but I'm going to use it as a pejorative in this video so you can understand the comparison that I am making. What is happening, they are trying to vie for a very few women. But at the end of the day, when it comes to seeking somebody, whether it is a friend or a serious relationship, you must make sure that person is equally yoked. Again, I'm going back to the situation. If you're a man or a woman who has children, from my perspective or point of view, you should date somebody with children. Why? Because you're compatible. And as a man or as a woman, I don't want to hear that my children come first. Because I'm going to sit back here and ask you then why you trying to date. Because I thought your children came first. Now see, when you hit them with the point, you're going to get a shaming tactic. This is how it works. Why? Because you caught them up in a lie. And you have a number of individuals out there who do nothing but deny, deny, deny. And when it comes to meeting everybody or anybody, I shouldn't say everybody because you're not looking to meet everybody. You're just meeting somebody who you are compatible with, whether it is a friend or a serious relationship. Well, nothing's going to work unless you know your own value. And you don't let anybody shame you for who you are and how you think. And that's the difference between finding somebody quality and not quality. Because for the most part, the individuals who are asking for quality partners and they're not quality because of the decisions and the actions that they have done in their life to preclude them from being quality. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to make themselves feel good by shaming you for not dating them or not being their friends. The bottom line is, God didn't make me for everybody, didn't make you for everybody, didn't make us for everybody. That's not how it works. And when it comes to any type of relationship, you need to meet somebody who is compatible and equally yoked. You both need to share similar interests. You both need to have an idea where you want to go, and where you want to go is in the same direction. And that only works if you show the action. And you have to be able to put work into it. And the first order of business is you must be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, you're going to get caught. Trust me, the truth always surfaces. And if you don't believe me, look at what's going on around you. Look at how many people are getting divorced. I just heard that Kim Kardashian wants to divorce Kanye West. Now, I don't do any videos on celebrities because I don't care about these celebrities. They're all a joke to me. But what I do care about is what's happening to our society when it comes to morals and values. Many individuals are getting married for convenience, or they're in a relationship because it is convenient. And you must be very careful with who you sleep with, who you interact with, because you have a number of people today who are taking advantage of you, and they don't care if they take advantage of you because, again, they're not looking for you to love. They're looking for you to use. It's like taking an orange, squeezing all the juice out of it, and once all the juice has been squeezed out of it, what do? Or what happens to that orange? We dispose of it, and if we want another one, we'll go get another one. This is how it works. Well, in the order of business, when you have these people who are at the bottom of the barrel making large demands, you must look at the situation very critically. Does that make sense? And that person is making outrageous demands. You don't want to talk to them because you're going to be miserable. I mean, you ever heard of a person who constantly talks about how big their penis is or how good their vagina is? Well, these are bottom of the barrel people doing it. Why? Because that's all they got. They want to hold on to that because they want you to be a sucker to buy into it, because what happened in the past, so many other persons took advantage of them. So now they want to be holier than thou. Don't fall for it. Bottom line is, you got to have your eyes open and your ears open, because you have individuals who are very, very immature. They're sociopaths. They're narcissistic. They're going to utilize all kinds of shaming tactics to try to make you feel bad. The bottom line is, you got to have a heart and your own mind. Look at what's going on around you. Because none of us are perfect. So what I'm saying is, we should have a reasonable belief system. And when we seek any type of friendship, we need to look at ourselves first. Look at our fallacies. Because at the end of the day, we all are human. We make mistakes. God didn't give us perfection. And when it comes to seeking people in our lives, we must look at our own mindset. Because from my standpoint, there are a number of individuals who have mental issues. And narcissism is a mental issue. Delusion, schizophrenia, a number of people have these mental disorders. When it comes to online dating, this is where you will discover a number of these individuals. Because what they do, they hide behind a computer all day. And when they meet somebody, they meet them online, talk to them online, and they may see this person that they're looking for one or two times. And why is that? Because they're constantly looking for other people. This is why I'm telling you, relationships can be difficult, but you have to know who you are and understand who you are and be realistic about who you are. Because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. So if I'm not perfect and I don't have everything, then I don't need to ask somebody else to have everything. But if I do that, I better make sure I can bring that other person something to the table, so they won't have this idea that I'm using them, and I won't have this idea that they're using me. Why? Because at the end of the day, we are equally yoked, and that's how friendships should work. Compatibility, understanding, trust, good mindset, and a positive direction. And also you must understand that you're human and you're not perfect. And if you think you're perfect, well, look around you. All these people who think they're perfect, look where their lives are. They're in the tank. And this is why they become lowlifes and they seek people much higher than they are, so they can benefit, because they don't care if you benefit. And if you don't believe me, look around, because it's happening. And you could be the next victim if you're not paying attention. And And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show for this evening, Thursday, April 5th, 2018. You can tune into the 401 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Guest call-in number is 215-383-5785. And if you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't debate, I don't do controversial issues, nor do I do emotional issues. But I will tell you, my channel is a self-awareness educational channel. So if you are into the drama and you are into the unnecessary bickering, this channel's not for you. People who come on my channel, whether male or female, should have an open mind, because I'm giving you interesting content without the drama that's 100% real, but positive. Because if you're positive, you're always going to grow. If you're negative, you're never going to grow. You're always going to be in shambles. You're going to be that person who's the imperfect person, which we all are technically imperfect, but you're going to be the lowlife looking for somebody to subsidize you, because that's exactly what this video was about. And that's why I said individuals who are lowlifes have unrealistic expectations. So when you understand that, it's called gaining knowledge. And when you have knowledge, you have power. And if you have a topic, a new YouTube channel, or business that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, simply email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comments in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering, if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed night. God bless you.